It is a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. We're back at Gulfstream Park West for our Fall Turf Festival. We got a fast main track from Turf Course. Ron here with Pete Aiello, a track announcer. And the big news today, Pete, we got a $50,000 jackpot guarantee in the Rainbow Six. So we're trying to get to that big weekend we're going to have here with the Breeders' Cup, and maybe we can have it last till then and get a big payoff on either Friday or Saturday.
Well, that's certainly my plan. I'm starting with a bankroll here this afternoon and hoping to survive until Breeders' Cup Day, both Friday and Saturday afternoon, the Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships. Very, very bettable card here today. You won't hear me say this very much, but I'm going to be on the Ron Nicoletti bandwagon a lot this afternoon as the card looks very, very formful here today.
Well, thank you. That means chalk. He's trying to say I'm a chalk-eating weasel in another different way.
Your words, not mine.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Breeders' Cup this weekend, you can watch it here. If you can't make it here, you can go over to Gulfstream Park. They got beautiful Silk Simulcast Center. I mean, it's going to be a great weekend. They got free giveaways. It's a Breeders' Cup party this whole weekend, whether you're here at Gulfstream Park West or over across town at, of course, the main track, Gulfstream Park. So should be a great weekend.
It will be a great weekend. South Florida well represented in the Breeders' Cup this year with little Alexis going for Carlo Vaccarezza, trying to get Bahamian Squall to draw into the Breeders' Cup Sprint. He's on the also eligible list. We have a couple other South Florida. Fast Anna for Kathy Ritvo as well in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. So definitely a reason to watch the Breeders' Cup races here on Saturday afternoon. Great betting opportunities both here locally and at Santa Anita Park with the Breeders' Cup Friday and Saturday.
Well, let's look at this very bettable card. According to Pete, it is, I think, a pretty nice card. 6 furlongs, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $12,500. Non-winners with 2 in life is how we'll start today. If you're looking at the board right now, the 5 horses favored, who I do not have, I went with the number 2 in here, Flashy Brash. You went with the 3, Centella.
Yeah, Centella's coming in from Churchill for trainer Bobby DeBona. Orlando Bocachica gets on. Source is coming off a subpar run as a 6-5 favorite. Adds blinkers here this afternoon with the barn switch. In my opinion, she doesn't really face a whole lot in here. I think that these horses are average at best for this level. This race did not come up overly tough. Nice time to take a fresh face here. I'll go with Centella on top. I figure she'll take some money, and she's definitely capable on her best game.
Well, I went with the 2 Flashy Brass, who's plunging to this $12,500 two-lifetime level. First starts in chasing the pace, fading. That was against allowance runners at Gulfstream Park. Bruno Tesori's the trainer, Edgar Zayas. A little bit of a shaky call here off the drop, but I went with the 2 Flashy Brass. I got the 3 Centella, and then I went with the old Nard horse that seems like I pick a lot too, is the 4 Casalanga, making the first start since threatening to win at this level during August and September. Giuseppe Iacidernia is only 11% with this 31 to 60-day layoffs, but his horses always seem to run. I don't know about that percentage.
Well, you probably picked her the last 2 times. She was 8-5 and favored in each of her last 2 occasions for Luca Panici. The key here is who is the speed, and is the speed going to get pressured? You know, you have Casalinga who wants to go. Your top play, Flashy Brass, wants to go. Horse that I used out wide, KB Biorhythm, second start off the long layoff. She wants to be part of the pace, so we'll see how it plays out. Distinctly Sweet is an interesting runner from the 6 post for Doug Potter. Takes a cutback in distance with some long-distance tactical speed. Could translate into a pretty nice trip for this horse here today. This race is this is a tough race. I wouldn't take too short a price on anybody in this race. First half of the early daily double.
Well, let's go to race number 2. This is a 1-mile turf event starter optional claimer for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. The claiming level here with price is $12,500. Scratch the 4, the 9, and the 10. We want to go back and show you a race from September 21st, and it's the Phoenix Court rallying the stretch to win by a head notch, its 2nd consecutive grass victory.
Yeah, I was really surprised that this horse went off 11-1 in that race after winning at 11-1 against Wide Open 10 the time before that. That's Phoenix Court in the pink colors and the white cap and the 2 saddle towel. She is going to run down Shy's Alley, who hit the front. When Shy's Alley hits the front, she's not supposed to get outrun. Vital Victory was back 3rd that afternoon. Vital Victory ran one heck of a good race that afternoon. That was actually Vital Victory who Phoenix Court caught with Shy's Alley on the outside. I think that she is definitely a horse to beat in here. I think that she's going to trip out good. You have speed to sign on. I also think your top play, Maydell's going to trip out pretty good. Maydell's going to be favored, so I deviated against her, but I knew you would pick her, so it's not like we were going to ignore on the analysis. I think this race is exactly the way we have it on paper. Box the 1, 2, 6, 7, and hope that you don't lose money on the superfecta because they will be all taking heavy action today.
Yeah, well, at 7, Mydell will try these 12,500 optional claimers after facing the likes of both Kandara and Dunwan, who just ran second and third respectively in this Sellers Shiraz here. Peter Walder, Edgar Prado, good connections. This horse in a really nice spot, as you mentioned. Below, we got the Phoenix Course on a ticket for what we said. I threw in the 2 Spectacular Me in there in the third spot, and so did you, Pete. So logical horses, like you said.
Yeah, they are logical horses. This race not part of the early pick 4, which is probably good news. This would be a frustrating race for multi-leg players because you're going to have to go 4 deep, and if you get the wrong one of the 4, you're going to feel silly about it. Spectacular Me, I used her third. I don't know that she's going to be sitting the most optimum trip. She got a beautiful run last time under John Delgado, perfectly rationed on the top end. She's going to have to use more of her speed today. I think the horse that maybe stands to take a stalk and pounce trip is number 6, Vital Victory, who I used on top. She's been running very, very well for Gary Jackson and Juan Leyva. She showed that she doesn't need the lead to be effective, and either one of her races 2 and 3 back from a tactical standpoint, I think give her the edge here because she'll be in front of Maydell, she'll be in front of Phoenix Court, and she'll track the other speeds.
Well, our early pick 4, the first pick 4 of the day actually starts in race number 3, 5.5 furlongs, fillies and mares 3 and up, non-winners of a race since April 29th. There's Scratch, the number 7 horse in here, Republican. We have our top 2 flip-flop. I went with the 5, Pompous Miss. You went with the 6, Blonde Cat.
I love Blonde Cat here, full disclosure. Taking a drop from wide open 62.5 in for non-winners of the year. Blonde Cat has been a horse that's burned a couple folks the last couple times. She was 5-2 and favored off a big morning line last time. She was close to 6-5 2 starts ago, while 4th under Edgar Prado. Draw a line through that last race. She just was not interested in not having any of it against a lot of speed types last time out, including repeat winner Hot Stepping Last. This is a pretty better, much better spot for her today. Faces some horses that she's going to have to figure out tactically how she's going to handle. Tyler Gaffalione has a decision to make, which will probably could be contingent on the break, because your horse Pompous Miss, if she's going to run her best game, she's going to be on the lead. I don't know that Blonde Cat necessarily needs the lead. I think that she can stalk and pounce. I like that she's drawn outside of one of her key rivals. I think that if Pompous Miss breaks and Panici wants the lead, which, by the way, he's not really known for sending horses out of there, that Blonde Cat with an outside post, she can scratch the 7 Republican here. So just 6 of them. Blonde Cat may be a single for me in the early pick 4. Certainly a horse that I like quite a bit here.
Yeah, I was really good. Didn't know which one to pick on top. I went with Pompous Miss, turning back to 5.5, returned from that 7-week freshening, stalked to pace, weekend versus similar. That was a good track. I think he moves forward off that performance. Now, hard not to have Blonde Cat somewhere on your ticket. You mentioned that last race, broke from post 14 in that race, you know what I mean? So it was really hung out there. The other horse I used on my ticket, Pete, was the 2 Front Cremodrines. Wheels back with only 4 days rest after finishing second against 6,252 lifetime claimers on Saturday. If you look at the barn here, Randy Briscoe, he's 8% only, 173 starts. I found this amazing. 173 starts with the 1 to 7 day layoff. Usually nobody does it. He's done it 173 times.
It's kind of Randy Briscoe's MO. He likes to wheel horses back, especially if they're putting in good performances. You know, the old adage is with horses on the bottom level, why train them when you can just run them fit? Right. That's kind of been the way Randy Briscoe does things. This horse, kind of interesting race placement. I don't think it's a bad race placement. It's just interesting. Non-winners of 2 in against non-winners of the year now. The only thing is I mean, Ronnie, not only is this horse wheeling back on short rest, this is her 3rd race in 10 days and her 4th race in 18 days.
Yikes.
Yikes is right. She's going to get a good trip for Alan Mirage. She'll come running. I think that she has a chance here. Etiquette made the bottom of my ticket, just trying to spice up your life in the exotics. But I like Blonde Cat here under Gaffalione. Perfectly placed here by trainer Donna Green and owner Dan Hertak. South Florida main stage for a long time. Found a perfect spot to see what she has with an outside post and the speed just to her inside.
Well, let's go to our 4th race. This one, 1 mile on the turf. These are maiden claimers, 2-year-olds, $25,000 in here. I went with the number 7 Wildcat Runner. I found this race really hard to figure out. Went with the 7 Wildcat Runner. Just want to note, as we do our analysis, the 2 Jazz Band Joe is actually a filly against the boys in here. You would get fooled by that because it's Jazz Band Joe, you know, but a filly against the boys in the 4th race today. I went with Wildcat Runner. You went with the 3 horse. Tell me why, please. I'm going to go deep in this race.
I'm going to go deep in this race, too. We actually agree on that. Key scratch here. If you're looking at us and going, how do these jokers not have the 5 on their top tails?
Right.
The 5 is out. Super scratch. That's
right.
a huge scratch here today. That horse looked to be the one to beat, at least in my view. I land now on a fresh face. I don't really care much for the form on anybody in here, including Wildcat Runner. I'm going to use the Renombre for Antonio Sano and Edgar Prado. Bred to be a long-distance type horse. Should be okay on the grass, being by Henry the Navigator out of a Medaglia d'Oro mare. He's bred to go long. See, Jazz Banjola and your Philly thing's messing me up already.
Right.
Bred to go long, fresh face. That was my logic. There's no more logic than that for me here.
Also want to note the one horse in here, Fire Blue, moving to the Jen Antonucci Bon Vita claim. Edgard Zayas is going to get them out. And blinkers off this afternoon. That will be equipment change. Ran with blinkers in its only other previous race on the main track. So blinkers off for its turf debut. And I like the fact that, Edgard jumped aboard.
No argument for me. You can see Fire Blue's another horse that I used here today. I think there's some room to improve here. I agree with you. This is a very, very tough race. I'm probably going to take the single approach in the early pick 4 because I like one in race number 5. This race, I don't have any confidence in the favorites, and I think the long shots don't look that too dissimilar from the favorites here.
Yeah, I would go deep in that race myself. Let's go to our 5th race of the afternoon this afternoon. This 5th race, this is where we have the Rainbow Six, who we mentioned at the top of the show. We got the $50,000 jackpot guarantee. Boy, they've been surrounding this thing. They actually hit it last Sunday for $53,000, so it's a good wager. 5th race, 7 furlongs, 3-year-olds and up. Non-winners of a race since April 29th, $6,250. Scratch the number 5, Kinvada. I went with the 3, Sir Edgar. Really like this horse, as you do too.
Yeah, how do you not go with him? He's one of the only horses in here that's dropping from wide open claimers in against the non-winners of the year. That's a huge class drop, especially this time of year in South Florida. Sir Edgar makes a rider switch here from Brittany Arterburn to Edgard Zayas, makes a barn switch from Lonnie Arterburn to Gilberto Zerpa. I don't really care about any of that, to be honest. I'm just simply noting it because it's occurring. I just think Sir Edgar's the best horse in here. I have 2 issues. One of the issues is number 4, Why Not Gray Boy, is going to send from outside of Sir Edgar, and I think Sir Edgar does his best running on the lead. And issue number 2, I don't know that this horse wants to run 7 furlongs anymore. A younger Sir Edgar could handle it just based on class and grit alone. I don't think his best lick is 7/8. I'm hoping that those 2 things don't happen in unison, where the 4 sends, duels with the 3, and then he's got to carry his speed 7/8. That worries me. I think this is the kind of race, though, that if this horse loses, you have to spread because everybody else looks about the same to me.
Yeah, he's a horse for course type, too. He's had 19 previous races over this track, 6 wins, 5 seconds, 2/3, and he's also 2 for 5 at this 7 furlong distance, but your points are well taken in here, but I just think that he's the logical one to beat in here.
He is.
Went with the 7, smoking the field, wheels back at the same level in distance today, finished second best, was the favorite last time out. Ramsey Zimmerman gets the call. Edgard moving to Sir Edgard. That's Edgard Zayas moving up there. So a little bit of a jockey move in this race. Looks like another one that you got to have somewhere on your ticket.
Somewhere on your ticket. He soured me last time. He got a perfect trip and couldn't seal the deal last time. He had a favorable pace scenario last time. He had a favorable race flow last time. Everything was in his favor, and he didn't win. He soured me in that effort. I think that there's 2 horses in here. We already talked about Sir Edgar. The other is Cactus Kid. And again, if you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm simply offering my opinion. Non-winners of the year, the category of this race. I think the long-distance version of this race is coming up tougher than the short-distance version of this race. Now we're at 7/8. So when you look at the 8-horse Cactus Kid, that's why I brought this up. He's been racing against All Keyed Up, who was an allowance winner over this course and took a drop for Tammy Levy. Tiz Bobby came back to win like a good thing on Monday. Distinctive Pick was a repeat winner when he beat him 4 starts ago. Malibu Wave ran well the other day. He beat Cactus Kid when the last time he raced over this racetrack. He's keeping better company. If the 3 and 4 do hook up, he's the logical one to benefit from that. He has cutback tactical speed, and he's the chief rival to Sir Edgar.
He stung me last time out, so I'm not going to use him.
Hey, listen, the same thing was smoking the field
that
with
was
me.
a joke. Cactus Kid stung, you get it?
Cactuses don't sting.
Yes, they do. If you get hit, they don't sting? Okay.
Unless you have movable cactuses that I don't know about, you have to sting yourself.
Well, it was a bad joke, but it was a joke nonetheless. It just wasn't a good one.
Hopefully our race analysis are better than that joke.